Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to our Bhagavad Gita session. We are on chapter 3 and it has been long. Yeah, so let me first recap the objective. So the objective of this class is that it will enable us to read the shlok and we'll understand the meaning of the shlok and we'll understand the basic philosophy of Gita. That's what is the intention of this class. And it has been very long, so I will start with a recap as what we have done in chapter 3 till now, so that it refreshes our mind and we can take it forward. So the summary of the chapter 3, so we have 3.1 to 2, where Arjun is confused and asks the question as, "Oh Krishna, I'm confused, and tell me what is better. Is it working? Is it work or renunciation? What is the right thing for me to do?" And this arises because of one of the shlok that Krishna spoke in the second chapter. He said, "Durena hayavaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya," and that means that hayavaram karma means abominable activity. So he said that keep away all the abominable activities by buddhi yoga, by your intelligence. Now he is wondering that if he's saying abominable activity, when Krishna is saying abominable activity, it is basically fighting. Fighting is I'm going to kill people. So why should I do that? So he's saying I am confused. You are asking me to keep away abominable activity by buddhi yoga and intelligence, and then you're asking me to fight. So what is the right thing for me to do? So Krishna, this was in the shlok number 1 and 2. Then Krishna, what he does is he says to Arjun that Nishkam Karma Yoga is better for Arjun than Gyan Yoga. Yeah. So he says for you, Nishkam Karma Yoga is better than Gyan Yoga. Now here he explains from 3.3 to 3.9, he explains that there are two types of people. One who are Gyan Yogis and they renounce the work. Yeah, they are in knowledge, and they are Karma Yogis who do the prescribed work even though they gain knowledge, but then they do the prescribed work. So there are two types of people. And then he says that premature renunciation of work is not recommended. Then if you are not matured enough and you just want to avoid work and then you want to run away, that is not advisable because you are not mature enough for renunciation. Yeah. And those people who try to run away, they are basically run away from their duties and they are mithyachari, because it is only for a short period you get this feeling and you try to go to forest and do your tap and all, but your actual tendency will actually come, and at that time, because you have already taken initiation, you will do sinful activities. So it is not advisable to take premature renunciation. It is always good to do your prescribed duty. And then he says a pretender, a mithyachari, such people are mithyachari. A pretender, he externally renounces the work, but internally he is thinking of enjoyment. So what is happening? Then you are actually gaining more and more sins, right? And then he says, he ends the ninth shlok by saying, Arjun, it is better to perform your prescribed duty. Whatever is your prescribed duty, you must do it without any expectation of result, with no expectation of result, and work for Vishnu. When you are working for Vishnu, what will happen? The material, the bondage that you get when you're doing the karma, any karma you're doing, you're getting a bondage. But when you do that, what will happen? You'll be free from the material bondage when you work for Vishnu. That is what is Nishkam Karma Yoga. That's what Krishna suggests. Then from shlok number 10 to 16, looking at Arjun, he felt that, probably he needs to lower his and explain him from the beginning, and then he started explaining him the yoga ladder. How exactly from karma kand to karma yoga, how do one moves from karma kand to karma yoga. And then he explains how all of us who are in the material world today, we had a desire to be away from Krishna. We all are part and parcel of Krishna, but then we wanted to enjoy away from Krishna in this material world. And then because of that, Krishna have sent us to this material world, which is more like and we are in this material bondage, right? But being a father, he is the Bij Pradam Pita. He is the Bij Pradam Pita. He is the seed giving father for all of us. So what he did is, he is very clever. Not only he did send us to this material world, but along with that he sent the yajna. He sent the yajna, and he says, okay, we are in this world. What you do is, when you come, you also perform sacrifices, yajna. And when you do yajna, what will happen? That will please the demigods, that will please the devtas. And when they get pleased, they will fulfill your desires. Yeah. So he created a chakra, so that we as a human being, we will do sacrifices to fulfill our desire. And when that gets desired, that gets fulfilled, what will happen? We'll become happy. And that was, happiness will prevail between men and devta. Because of the yajna we're doing, devtas will be happy, and we'll be happy because we are getting our desires. Similarly, this way we will keep on doing more sacrifices. And what is happening? Whenever you're doing a sacrifice, you're actually purifying your soul. What is happening? We are purifying our soul. And this way, one day there'll be a realization. We'll slowly grow up in the spiritual path, and we will understand that we are not this body, we are the soul. And we'll start understanding that why are we born here? What is the reason why we are? Those questions will start coming to our mind, and then we'll start searching for the real purpose, and we'll try to go back to Godhead. So he starts explaining us to the karma. Karma kand is basically doing fruitive activities, doing karma to get some results and enjoying that result. That is karma kand. And what is karma yoga? When you are doing activity, but you are doing as an offering to, basically to get related to Krishna, to get as an offering to him. That is the nishkam karma yoga. And then he says, whatever you have, you look around, whatever you have, everything is given by God. Nothing you have which is not, if you go at the root cause, it is given by God. Whatever food we eat, it gets produced. Whatever items we are enjoying, the raw materials come from God. Nothing, we are not even the oxygen. We all know the value of the oxygen during COVID time. How expensive it is. It's all free for us. Water is free for us. So whatever we need is given free by God for us. And he says, those who just enjoy all these things without giving it back, who are they? They are thieves. And when you don't offer prasad and you eat that, you are basically doing sin. You are actually accumulating sin. And then he explained the cycle of sacrifice. So what is the cycle of sacrifice? Cycle of sacrifice is that all living beings, all of us, we sustain because of food, right? We all depends upon food to live in. And from where does the food grow? It grows because of rain. If there's no rain, there's no food. So it comes from rain. Now, from how does the rain comes? Rain comes because of the yajna we perform. Yeah, it comes because of the yajna. And that is our prescribed duty. Who has described it as prescribed duty? Where is it written that this is prescribed duty? We should do yajna. It is written in Vedas. It is written in as a rules and regulation. We are supposed to do this, and written in Vedas. And who made the Vedas? Who created the Vedas? It is created by the Supreme Lord. Yeah. So he has a father. He has given all of us, and this whole secret. So all living beings should offer whatever they're taking back to Supreme God, so that, that is the cycle of sacrifice. Now in Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to, getting the right Brahmin, getting all these things. So there is a very small, simple mantra that has been given. You chant the mantra and you can get purified. So you can chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and you can also get purified, right? Then from shlok number 17 to 35. So what we have done is we have done from 17 to 27 till now. So 17 to 37, what Krishna talks about, he continues on Nishkam Karma Yoga. And Nishkam Karma Yoga, what is he saying? That he talks about a self-realized soul, a Jnana Yogi. He says, when you become a self-realized soul, even if when you get the right knowledge, you should not stop performing your prescribed duty. Even if you are at the level where you understand that you are not this body and you are the soul, but still you must perform your prescribed duty, but without detachment, as an offering to Vishnu. Why? Because whatever great man does, everyone follows. And then he gives example of Raja Janak. He says, look at Raja Janak. He was the father-in-law of Ram, but still he continued doing this. He never had any need to do it, right? But still he did that because whatever Raja will do, that's what Praja will follow. Yeah, although he had the gyan, but he did know he says, and forget, then he said, look at me. I am above everything. Everything is because of me, whatever we have. But still, I do my prescribed duty. If I am not doing, everything will break. Everything will break. So he explains that. And then he says, as the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results. So what happens? He also talks about in Shlok number 25 that the ignorant people, those who don't understand why we have to do the prescribed duty and continue doing that even we have the knowledge, because the people who don't understand, they're going to follow us and they will just do it. So he also says, even if someone is ignorant, do not go and disturb them and say what you're doing is wrong, come and do this. That is not the right way. Let them do whatever they're doing and slowly bring them by giving some services to them. Start giving them some services which will help them to grow up in their spiritual life. And then what will happen? They will get attached. So that is the right way to handle an ignorant man. Yeah. Then Krishna asks, okay, but how will I know that this person is an ignorant person? How will I recognize? So then he gives a Shlok number 27 in this chapter, and we did this in the last class. He talked about Prakriti Kriyamanani Gunai Karmani Sarvasha Ahankara Vimudhatma Karta Ham Iti Manyate. So last class we did this Shlok where he says, who is a ignorant man? How will you know? Someone who thinks that whatever is happening is because of me. I am the doer. If someone thinks that I am the doer, that is an ignorant person. Because whatever is happening, there are multiple reasons why it happens. But an ignorant person thinks that whatever is happening is because of me, right? So he says that is how you can recognize that this person is ignorant, right? And so then we talked about Prakriti, then we talked about Prakriti, we talked about what is the material nature, and we talked about the modes of material nature. Yeah. So what are the modes of material nature? We talked about mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Then we talked about that all of us, as soon as the soul, each of us, we are a part and parcel of Krishna. Soul is always pure. Soul is always pure. But as soon as it touches the material world, it becomes conditioned. It becomes conditioned. Conditioned by what? It becomes conditioned by the three modes of material nature. All of us have different degree of goodness, passion, and ignorance in us. Each of us, right? Now, the people who have got more in goodness, what you will see, how will you recognize them? Whatever difficulties they are in, they're always happy. They knowledge. So they'll always be happy because they know that it's not me who is doing it. It is I have to just lead my life. This will happen. So they accept and they're always happy. They're always thinking about God, working about God, and they're always happy. Those people who are in mode of passion, they're always desiring. They always want more. They are always looking for more. Whatever they have, they're never satisfied. And they'll never be satisfied because they always have a want to get more. And that tendency, how can you improve that tendency? Only by connecting and purifying yourself and connecting more to God and having the realization that, okay, this is what it can happen, right? And who are the people who are in the mode of ignorance? How you'll know that? They are very, very lazy. They don't want to do anything. They want to sleep. They really want to enjoy life. They want to sleep. If you ask them for some work, it is always moved. I'll do it tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. Yeah. So then you know that these are lazy people. They want to have fun, get up, enjoy. Someone should do work for them. Yeah. So they are in the mode of ignorance. Then the very interesting shlok that we read, which is the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna says, Maya jakshena prakriti suyate sacharachara. He says, all this material energy, the material energy, the nature we're talking about, the mode of goodness, whatever modes it is all controlled by Maya Adhyakshena. It is all controlled by me. It is and char achar, whether it's moving or non-moving entity, what's happening, it is all controlled by me. I am the so he said material nature, which is one of my energy, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti. And then Shlok number 14th of 7th chapter, where he summarizes everything. He says, Devi Hesha Gudmayi Mama Maya Durat Maya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Mayam Etam Tarantite. He says, this mode of material nature, the three modes, it is very, very difficult to transcend. Till the people are in this mode, whether it is in goodness, passion, or ignorance, they are always bound and in the cycle of birth and death. Till we are in this mode of any of the modes, even in the mode of goodness, we are tied with in the cycle of birth and death. And to come out of that mode, we have to transcend these three modes. To become free from this cycle of birth and death, we have to transcend from this three modes, right? And how can we transcend that? How can we transcend it? That is the answer Krishna says. Yes, he says that it is very, very difficult to transcend these three modes, but one who surrenders unto me, I take care that the person transcends. So how can we transcend this on our own if we think we can change? No. We have to surrender to Krishna. And when we surrender to Krishna, he can help us to grow beyond, to cross this ocean that we are in. Okay? So that is what he says. And this is what we learned in our last class, right? So today we'll continue with Nishkam Karma Yoga and we'll start with Shlok number 28. Shlok number 28, everyone has it? Yeah. Okay. 3, no? Chapter 3, Shlok number 28. Page number 172. Yeah, right? Yeah, we will start. Tattva vittu mahabaho. Gurna karma vibhagayo. Guna guneshu vartanta. Iti matva na sajjate. Tattva vittu mahabaho. Guna karma vibhagayo. Guna guneshu vartanta. Iti matva na sajjate. Manji. Tattva vittu mahabaho. Guna karma vibhagayo. Guna guneshu vartanta. Iti matvana sajjate. Tatvit. Who is a Tattvat? Tatvit, who knows the absolute truth. What is the absolute truth? That we are part of Krishna and we are soul. We are not this body, but we are soul. So he has the knowledge. So Mahabhav, what is Mahabhav? Mahabhav is Arjun. Who is Mahabhav? He is Arjun. He said, Tatvitu Mahabhav Guna Karma Vibhagayo. Vibhagayo is difference. Vibhag means difference. So what he does, he understands the difference between Guna Karma, working in devotion and working due to fruitive action. He understands the difference. He is very clear. And what he does, Guna Guneshu Vartante. Guna is sense and Guneshu is sense objects. He does not get engaged. He does not get entangled into the sense and sense object. Iti Matwana Sanjate. Knowing that they are, as soon as you get into that, you will get engaged. What he does, he does not get attached to it. He does not get, Sajjate is attached, does not get attached to it. So let's read the meaning. One who is in knowledge, of the absolute truth, O mighty armed, does not engage himself, in the senses, and sense gratification, knowing well the differences, between work in devotion, and work for fruitive result. Yeah. So here he talked about Krishna in the last shlok, 27 shlok. He talks about who is an ignorant. He knows that who thinks that I am the doer. Yeah, he is the ignorant person. And who is the intelligent person who understands it's not me. I only desire. It is actually sanctioned by the absolute truth, and it is Prakriti. It is the modes of material nature which enables things to happen. So what is the right thing to do? If you want to come out of the bondage, what you need to do? You need to should not get entangled with the senses with the sense object. If you get that entangled, you will actually again you are back into the cycle. So what he does his work as an offering to Krishna and continues this, does not get engaged into this thing, right? Then we go to the next shlok. प्रकृतेर गुण सम्मूढ़ा सज्जन्ते गुण कर्मसु तान कृत्स्न विदो मंदान कृत्सन विन्न विचालयेत् प्रकृतेर गुण सम्मूढ़ा सज्जन्ते गुण कर्मसु तान कृत्स्न विदो मंदान कृत्स्न विन्न विचालयेत् रूपा प्रकृतिर्गुण सम्मूढ़ा सज्जन्ते गुण कर्मसु तान कृत्स्न विदो मंदान कृत्स्न विन्न विचालयेत् प्रकृतिर गुण सम्मूढ़ा. Sambudha means the people who are foolish, who are they are mudha, they are foolish. So what do? Prakritir guna sammudha sajjante guna karmasu. What they do? They are bewildered by the modes of material nature, and they totally engage themselves in the material world by doing lot of karma and enjoying the results of that. Who will do that? Those who are ignorant. They don't have time for Krishna. They don't have time for spiritual. What they are busy in, they want to eat, sleep, and then work. And work so that they can get more money and they can enjoy more. Yeah. So why? Because they are completely covered by the modes of material nature. And then Krishna says, to such person, tan means to such person, akritsna vido, who does not have the knowledge and who does not understand the spiritual knowledge, mandan, who are lazy in this field, kritsnavin, with who are kritsnavin, who understand, who has an understanding about the spiritual knowledge, vichale, you should not disturb them. Someone who is too much involved in the material world and is enjoying and doesn't have time, so do not go and disturb them. Because why he says Krishna says? Because it is very, very difficult for them to understand. They will if you say okay and they listen, and then without having a proper understanding, they may do something which is not right to do, right? So what Krishna says, so the question is, how should we handle? So he says, such people who are too much into the material activity, there can be two types. One can be they are ignorant, they have never been exposed to this journey. Not that they want to do it, but in their life, they were not lucky enough to get association where they can get exposed to, or they can learn about this journey. Yeah. So to those people, you must approach. Yeah. And try to talk about the spiritual journey. Try to help them understand. Yeah. But then don't go to extreme. What you should do, ask them to do some work. Why don't you get some flowers for God? Why don't you get some sweets for Krishna? Why don't you sponsor some prasadam? Why don't you come to temple with me today? Why don't you come and listen to this lecture today? Okay, listen, I heard this story today in the class. I'm sharing this with you. Yeah. So slowly try to create interest in them. Yeah. But if you say, no, what you are doing is wrong, don't do this thing, you should do like that, immediately you have lost them. Because they are not mature enough to understand it. So never vichalayet. Don't do not just go and say, no, what you're doing is wrong, this is not the way. If you are going to do them, you are going to lose them. Because they cannot understand it. You have to be purified enough to be able to understand this knowledge, right? So now there are other people who have a thing, but they don't want to do it. They don't want, no, I know, I have learned Bhagavad Gita. I don't want to hear about it. We know. Yeah. So such people, you should leave them, because they are so much into the, the modes of material nature are so much impacted in them. It's very, very difficult to bring them out. But still, if you see here, I mean, in Bangalore itself, I have my devotees friends. They still, I mean, you'll not believe, on 31st of December, when we are actually, many people are enjoying, the devotees actually go and they're standing in front of pub and they're trying to still help them by giving them Gita and helping them, on the road, talking about things. Yeah. So the thing is, the devotees are so kind that they want to still bring the soul out and help them so that they can move out from this material world and come out of this bondage. Clear? So let's read the meaning. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached. But the wise should not unsettle them. Although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. So this is a learning from us. How should we handle the people? Because don't expect anyone else in the same level, or you are learning, so don't expect and say, no, this is not the way, we should do this. No. Go from small steps. Why don't you go and light the lamp? Small thing. Why don't you, I'm chanting, why don't you chant? If they don't want to chant, no problem. Just chant loudly. So what happens when you are chanting loudly? Someone can hear you, the people can hear you, and that itself will influence. When you are doing prayers, the environment around you becomes positive. That also goes and smells, and they also get the smell of it. When you are putting flowers to God, just take the flower and ask them to smell it. Then your nose by nose, you are actually helping them to get the prasad for it, right? So now we move to the next shlok, which is shlok number 30. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasadhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yuddhasva vigadjvaraha मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि संन्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगज्वरः. मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि संन्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युद्धस्व विगज्वरः. So now shlok number 30 is basically conclusion of what Krishna has spoken till now. It is the conclusion of what Krishna has spoken till now. Mai means unto me. Sarvani, whatever you are doing. Karmani, all karmas that you are doing. Sanyasya means give it to me, offer it to me. Adhyatma chetasa means consciousness. Chetasa means consciousness, and adhyatma chetasa means having full dependency on me. Yeah. Nirashi means without any desire. Nirashi means without any desire. Nirmamo means without proprietorship, that I own it, I do it, without any ownership. Bhutva. Yuddhasva vigajvara. Vigajvara means laziness, without any lethargy. What do? You do the fighting. Yuddhasva means do the fighting. So now here Krishna is summarizing, concluding whatever teaching he has given to Arjun and saying, so Arjun, what Arjun was, let's look at what had happened. Arjun, what was he trying to do? He had asked the question, confusion, renunciation, and what should he do? He should fight or he should he wanted to go to forest, right? That we remember in the second chapter. That's how it was. So now here Krishna is concluding. What is he concluding? That surrendering everything onto me. and without any desire, without any sense of proprietorship, without lethargy. Oh Arjun, get up and fight. Do your duty. Do your duty. That's what you need to do. So let's read the meaning. Therefore, O Arjun, surrendering all your works unto me, with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims of proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. So what is Krishna saying? Krishna is saying, do your prescribed duty as an offering to me with no desires, no ownership, and no lethargy. Be focused, do your work. That's what he says. Get up and fight. Right? Now, what is karma sannyasa? Let's look at the word karmani sannyasya. Yeah? Karmani sannyasya. Now here karma sannyas. Karma sannyas, Krishna does not saying that take renunciation. He's not saying take renunciation of work. He say do work in renunciation. Do work, but don't expect the result of the work. He never says renounce the world and go. He says do your duty, do your work, but don't be attached to it. When you are not attached, nothing matters to you, right? And then he talks about, there's an example of the cashier. Now think about a cashier, a bank cashier. So much money he's counting. Yeah? With no attachment to the money. He's just counting. And he gives it. He is not claiming ownership of that. Right? He's not claiming ownership of that. What does a cashier do? He, through his hands, so much money passes on. He's counting, and then he's giving it to the people. He does not have a nirashi. He doesn't have any desire to own it. He doesn't take anything from that. Neither he has any attachment to it. Right? And neither he's just working. Similarly, all of us, whatever is in this world, nothing is ours. We don't own anything. Nothing belongs to us. We have just come to this world. We think it's mine, but nothing is mine. We have come to this world. All the people that we have along us, they all are Krishna's gift. Whatever even we are working and earning, it's all Krishna's mercy. If it's not mercy, you will not be working. Okay? Whatever money you get, it is all his mercy. Do as much you can do for Krishna, do that. That is the right way to live. And just like, when you are not attached to anything, you are just performing, living the way, do your duty properly towards your family, towards your relatives, towards everything. Do properly the way you should with no attachment. And if you could live this way, then you are actually in the path of liberation. So living here, you are actually liberated. Living in this very world, you are liberated if we can cultivate that in ourselves, which is very, very difficult. For a small thing, if we lose, we say, oh, mera kahan gaya? What happened to that? Something happens to our kids, we are so much worried. You are no one. Nothing is happening because of you. Everyone has come with their karma, they are in their prakriti. What you can do is only pray. Do your duty properly. Don't be attached. Just live. Right? So now, after this shlok number 30, the shlok number 31 and 32 talks about, Krishna says, what will happen if someone does not follow what I've taught? Yeah. So let's now read. So before that, shlok number 30. Yeah. Why don't you read shlok number 30? Shleka. Yeah. Vaishnavi did read, right?
Mayi sarvani karmani.
Mayi sarvani karmani.
Sannyasyaatmak chetasa.
Sannyasyaatmak chetasa.
Nirashir nirmamo bhutva.
Nirashir nirmamo bhutva.
Yudhyasva vigatvaraha.
Yudhyasva vigatvaraha. Yeah. Now we go to the next shlok, which is shlok number 31. Ye me matam idam nityam.
Ye me matam idam nityam.
Anutishtanti manavaha.
Anutishtanti manavaha.
Shraddhavanto anasuyanto.
Shraddhavanto anasuyanto.
Muchyante te api karmabhi.
Muchyante te api karmabhi.
Ye me matam idam nityam.
Ye me matam idam nityam.
Anutishtanti manavaha.
Anuvishkanti manavaha.
Shraddhavanto anasuyanto.
Shraddhavanto anusuyanto.
Muchyante tepi karmabhi.
Muchyante tepi karmabhi.
Mataji.
ये ये मे मतम इदम नित्यम
Ye me matam idam nityam.
अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानव
Anutishtanti manavaha.
श्रद्धा भावन्तो श्रद्धा भावन्तो अनुशिष्ट
Shraddhavanto anasuyanto. Mucyanti tepi karmabhi. So now Krishna says, Krishna gave his injection. He talked about what we should do, and he also gave his conclusion what we should there. Now he says what will happen, 31 slok, if people follow it, if they follow the injection. He say, ye me matam idam. Idam means this. Matam means my teachings, my teachings, my matam, my thought. Nityam anutishtanti. Nityam is always, anutishtanti, we follow regularly. Manava. Manava means all the people. All the people who follow whatever I'm telling, always, regularly, what will happen and how they should follow? Shraddhavanto. Shraddha means faith, with lot of faith. And anasuyanto. Anasuyanto means envy, without envy. Those who follow my teachings regularly, all those who follow my teaching regularly with great faith, Shraddhavanto, Anasuyanto, without envy. What will happen? Muchyante. Muchyante means they'll become free. Free from what? Tepi karmabhi. They will be free from all the bondages. They'll be free from all the bondage. Yeah. So let's read the meaning. Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow this teaching faithfully, without envy, become free from the bondage of fruitive actions. Yeah. So what is Gita? Gita is a life manual spoken by Krishna himself. Yeah. But still there are people who don't want to listen to it, don't want to follow it. So, but those who listen to it and try to understand it with faith, without envy, and follow it, what will happen? They'll be free from the bondage and they'll be able to transcend this mode of patil, and they'll be actually go back to Godhead. But what will happen to people who will not do that? So let's read that. Shlok number 32. Ye tve tad abhayasuyanto na anutishtanti me matam sarva jnana vimudhastan viddhi nashtana chetasah ye tve tadbhya asuyanto na anutishtanti me matam sarva jnana vimudhastan viddhi nashtana chetasah. Now he says, he talks about those people who does not want to follow his teachings. So ye te tvat abhasuyanto. So what do? They are envious of his teaching. They are envious. No, they don't want to regularly follow me matam. Matam is his words, his teachings. Sarva jnana vimudhastan. Tan is they. What will happen? Whatever gyan they have, it is they'll be bereft of the gyan. They think they are very gyani, but they will actually be, they'll be hollow, they will be mudha, they'll be full of all the gyan, and vidhi nashtana chetasad. And you should know that their chetasa, their consciousness will get nasht, it will get ruined. Understood? So we read the meaning. But those who out of envy, disregard these teachings, and do not follow them regularly, are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled, and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Yeah. So why is it that people, behave this way? Although Bhagavad Gita is a life manual, it was true 5,000 years back. It is true today. Spoken by Krishna himself, but still people belittle Krishna. They think they more, and they want to analyze and come out of their own meaning of the shloka instead of what is written, told by Krishna. They say, oh, I know, this is actually this, and let me realize and let me think about my own, what the meaning should be. So what is happening? They think they are jnani, but they are actually fools. And they will never grow in their spiritual knowledge. They will actually be, their chetasa, their consciousness will be ruled. It will be ruined. Yeah. So then the question is, so now we talked about what will happen, those who follow, who does not follow, right? Why they don't follow? That's again that thing, right? So now 33 to 35 is the next three set of shlokas by that. So now let's talk about something. Now, we do a lot of sinful acts. The question is, are all the sinful acts that is done is because of ignorance? No. Sometimes we know that this is wrong. We know that there is a punishment that I'll get, but still we do it. Still we do it. We know that this is wrong. We are very well aware. We know that we will get punished for that, but still we do it. Why is it so? It is because our soul has been traveling multiple lives. We are in bondage, and we would have passed through millions of life where we are today, right? And when we talked about second chapter, we said the soul, when it leaves the body, along with that it carries three subtle body, three, like mind, intelligence, and false ego that travels. So there are a lot of impressions from each life that the soul carries. Yeah. Some impressions, some sins that we would have done in some, it is all the impressions. Some are sanskars, which are good impressions, and some are vasanas, which are desires which were not fulfilled in that particular birth. We all are carrying that. We are carrying that along with us. Yeah. So many times, because the vasanas, which is the inner demons, which are the not the right desires, which are the bad desires, what happens? We know, because of those past desires that we had in this life, when we come, those desires, it manifests. Because if it is, as we talked, if it's actually it is ready to get fructified, it gets expressed. And though we don't want to do it, but still we end up doing it. We still end up doing it. Yeah. So although we know that that is the right thing, although that consciously or unconsciously we know, but still we don't want to follow it. It is because of our prakriti. Because when we are born in this world, we are influenced by the three modes of material nature. And the way that modes of material depends upon our past karmas that we are carrying with us. The past karmas that we are carrying with us. So even though you know this is right, but still I would not agree to do it right, because I'm still so much covered by those modes of material nature. And I will do my sinful activity even though I know it is not right. So I'm propelled to do it because of my vasanas. Because of my vasanas, I do it. Yeah. So let's see what Krishna says in the shlok number 33. Sadrisham cheshtate swasya prakritir jnanavanapi prakritim yanti bhutani nigrah kim karishyati sadrisham cheshtate swasya prakritir jnanavanapi Prakritim yanti bhutani.
Prakritim yanti bhutani.
Nigrah kim karishyati.
Nigrah kim karishyati.
So now here he says, Jnanavanapi. Even a man of lot of knowledge. Jnanavan is a person with lot of knowledge. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature. Prakriti, according to swasya prakriti. Based on whatever modes of material nature he has acquired, he will act according to that nature. Sadisham cheshtara means to try. He will try. Prakriti yanti bhutani. Bhutani is all living entity. Not only Jnanavan, everyone actually lives as per the Prakriti. Whatever the modes they are carrying and they are influenced by. Nigrah kim karishyati. Nigrah means repression. Repression. You want to suppress this. So basically, what can repression accomplish? Now, someone is carrying that by their, because of their old karmas, and they are born and they are a part of your family, or you know the person, someone. Now you want them to suppress it. How can you suppress that? Even if they suppress it, that is their nature. It will come out. Because that is their nature. It is not because of you. This is you have to consider each individual as a soul, and then think why the person is doing what they're doing. You have to understand it is not because of your teachings and your influence alone. They're also coming with some last previous karma and impressions which they have. And it is happening because of those impressions, which is beyond anyone's control.
Beyond even that person's control.
Beyond that person's control. Also, they will do it. So the thing is, what is the solution? And Krishna, again, when we read the Shlok number 27, what did we hear? That all these modes of material nature are Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. It is I am, it is my energy. And if you want to come out of it, what you have to do? You have to surrender to me. We read the Shlok. Devi Hesha Gurmai Mama Maya Dhrutya Mameva Ye Prapadyante. Prapadyante means surrender. Maya Mem Tam Tarantite. It's very, very difficult to cross this three modes of material nature. But someone surrenders unto me, I can help them to cross them easily. So what to do? So why you have to surrender to Krishna? So now why the Shlok number 32, although the things are spoken by Krishna, although it is Bhagavad Gita, he is telling this, but still I'm not able to understand it. It is because of my Prakriti. Why so many people get the information to come for Bhagavad Gita, rather than doesn't come? They don't feel it is important to learn because you are not there. So what to do? What is the solution for it? How to make them surrender? Because you can't do that also, because that is also, you don't, that is again. So take baby steps. Chant slowly. First thing, chanting. Chanting helps them to connect. Yeah. Take them to temple. Temple purifies the environment. As many times as you can. Make it a point. Once a week, I'll definitely go to temple. Be in the devotees association as much you can. Because this bhakti beach that starts growing, it's like a small plant. A small plant that needs so much protection. And the world around is so, is so materialistic. If we are not saving ourselves, it is very easy to break. Very easy to break. So you have to be careful that, this Bhakti Lata Bij, when you are growing that, you have to protect that. And how do you protect that? By being in the association of devotees. Having the environment of puja at home, right? Helping to, you can talk about scriptural stories. You can hear the Hari Katha. All these things will actually purify the environment. And when it's purified, the breath that you are taking, the things you are doing is also getting purified, right? So that's how you can help the person to change or to nullify the prakritik, the thing which is coming. Yeah. The only way is surrendering. Directly someone cannot surrender. It's again a journey before you are mature enough to surrender. It's again a journey before when you are mature enough to surrender. Yeah. So help them, chant with them. If they don't want to chant, let the music play. Even if you're crossing, you're listening to the Krishna word, Govinda word, Gopala word, some word. Right? Right? Something is going in ears which is purifying you. It's a slow process. Do yagna, take to temple, right? Be with devotees. This is the way by which you can slowly influence the nullify. You can't totally nullify, but at least that's how you can attach the person there, right? Yeah. So please, Manji, read the stroke. Sadisham cheshta. Sadisham cheshtate swasyaha. Prakritirjnanavanapi. Prakritim yanti bhutani. Nigraha kim karishyati. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature. For everyone follows the nature he has acquired. From the three modes. What can repression accomplish? So by forceful repression, nothing will happen. It will again come back. Right? So here, if you look at now we'll first talk about the story of Mrigari. It's again from Bhagavatam. So Mrigari is a hunter. And what he does, he kills actually animals. And he doesn't just kill the animal. What he does is, he shoots the arrow so that they don't die. And he leaves them so that, they can actually die after a long time in pain. And he really used to enjoy the time when the animals were going through the pain. So this was Mrigari. So once Narad Muni from Vaikuntha, he was coming back, and he was in this world moving, and he saw, one deer. He's hit by arrow, and he's not able to run, and he's crying in pain. And then he saw there's a big boar, which is also doing the same thing. Then he saw a rabbit. He's wondering, who is this? Who is doing that? And then he realized that there's a hunter who is hiding behind the tree. So he looked and he went towards the hunter. And when he went towards the hunter, all the animals looking at, they realized the hunter is there, they ran away. So the hunter got very angry on Naradji. He said, how could you do that? Why are you coming towards this? Can't you see I'm killing, and you have, because of you, all the animals have run away. He says, okay, I just wanted to know, is it you who is half killing the animal? He says, yes, that's my work. So he says, okay, then why are you not killing them? Because I enjoy, I see, the more they are in pain, I enjoy that more. He says, but then, do you know what you're doing? When you are killing someone, you will be killed by the same one in your next life, or in one of your life. When you are giving pain to someone, you will get the pain in return in one life. Karma will always give the punishment. So what are you doing? You are actually the more pain. So I have one request. At least kill them once and for all. Don't let them be in pain, because the more they are in pain, you will be suffering more in pain. So my request to you is, let them die. And now the hunter, when he heard about that he will suffer and he will be killed and he will suffer, he got a bit worried. He said, no, but I never knew all these things. Now what should I do? He said, see, your job itself is for sin. But then the only way you can come out of it is, you have to leave this profession. You have to leave this profession, go back to your home. Whatever riches you have accumulated, go and distribute that all to sages, as good person as you can. You find, give it to them, because through their blessings you can actually get some purification. Then along with your wife, take one cloth, go to the river, make a small hut, put a tulsi plant, pray to that, and chant God's name as much as you can. Do that. And then he said, but I don't know anything else. How will I eat? He says, I will supply you food, but you do that. Now, many, many years later, Narad wanted to come and see how is his disciple doing. And when he came, now Mrigari saw Narad Muni from far. He started running. With happiness, he started running to go and bow to Naradji. But then what happened? He saw while running, he was not bowing because there were ants who were lined up, and he was scared that when he bows, the ants will get killed. So that is the effect of a bhakti on a person. And when you get blessings from a devotee, or you're close to a devotee from a spiritual master, they have the power to help you change your life. Yeah. So now we go to the next shlok, which is 34. इंद्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्न वशम् आगच्छत् तौ हयस्य परिपन्थिनौ इंद्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्न वशम् आगच्छत् तौ हयस्य परिपन्थिनौ. Then Krishna says that, yeah, so maybe why don't you read, Rupa? इंद्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्न वशमागच्छेत् तौ हयस्य परिपन्थिनौ. Now here Krishna says that indriyasyarthe. So sense and the sense object. Indriya is sense and indriyasyarthe is sense object. Rag means attachment. Dvesh means aversion. And vyavasthita means principles. Vyavasthita, there's a principles which helps to regulate rag and dvesh, attachment and detachment. Yeah. Tayorna vashamagachet. Do not get, vash means in the control. Do not get. You should not get under the control of what? The sense and the sense object. Because hayasya paripanthinau. They are the stumbling block in the spiritual. Paripanthinau in the path of self-realization. In your spiritual path, attachment and aversion, they are basically stumbling block in the path of self-realization. So you should leave your, so let's read the meaning. There are principles to regulate. Attachment and aversion. Pertaining to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment. And aversion. Because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. Now Arjun can ask that Rag, Dvesh, attachment and aversion. Now I have an attachment for non-violence. I don't want to fight. And aversion towards fighting. So in that case, what should be done? So Krishna says, this is the last shlok for today. He says, Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharmat Swa Anushchitat Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyah Paradharmo Bhayavaha Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharmat Swanushchitat Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyah Paradharmo Bhayavaha. So Krishna says, Shreya means which is better. What is better? Swadharmo. So your prescribed duty is better. Viguna, even if it is faulty, even if it is done in a faulty way, your prescribed duty is better for you. Par dharmat swanushtitat, than following some other's duty. Swadharme nidhanam shreya. Nidhana means death. Shreya is better. Swadharm, even while doing your work, it is better to die par dharmo bhayava than to follow, and following another path is dangerous. So, Shrika, please read the
Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharmat
Paradharmat Swanushthita
Swadharme Nidhanam Shreya
Paradharmo Bhayavaha. It is far better to discharge one's duty, one's prescribed duty,
It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties,
even though faulty,
faulty,
than another's duties perfectly.
than another's duties perfectly.
Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty
Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty
is better
is better
than engaging
than engaging
in another's duty
in another's duties,
for to follow another's path
or to follow another's path
is dangerous.
is dangerous.
So now Krishna says again to Arjun, do your prescribed duty. Arjun, what Arjun wanted to do? He wanted to go to forest and live there begging. He doesn't want to fight. So Krishna says, do your swadharma. You are a Kshatriya. Your dharma is to fight. Your dharma is not to go for non-violence, because that is being a pretender. When you go to forest, even you will start fighting there, because your actual behavior will come forward. It will come. When you will say something is wrong is happening, it is your actual behavior which will come. So follow, do your duty, do your prescribed duty. And that is better than following someone else's duty, even though you are attracted towards that. You find that duty better. But do your own duty, because and even dying in doing your duty is better than following someone else's path. Yeah. So this is our last talk today. With this, I will end the class. But before that, there's an announcement. So 23rd of December, it's a Mokshita Ekadashi. And that is the day when Bhagavad Gita was spoken. Yeah. So what we are going to do on 23rd of December, from 1 o'clock onwards, as always, as we do every year, we'll be reading the complete Gita, all the 700 shloks. We'll be reading in Sanskrit and then followed by English. So we'll be doing that. So I request all of you to join, and especially message me in case you want to take up some shloka, some chapters to do. You can talk to me about that. And also this month, after Kartik, this month is Markshish. And in the 10th chapter of Gita, Krishna says that among the months, I am Markshish.
Yeah.
Among the month, I am Markshish. So this is Krishna's month. And it's Bhagavad Gita was spoken now. So the right thing to do, and what Prabhupada says is, we should distribute as much Gita as we can. We must take Gita and try to give this message of Krishna to as many people as we can. So my request to all of you is that you can pick up from me as many Gita as you want to distribute, and please go ahead and distribute. Those who are virtually listening to me, I would request that please buy Bhagavad Gita as it is, and please go ahead and pass this message of Gita to as many people as you can. Hare Krishna. Let us chant 3 rounds and then we finish. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna.